What's up everyone? Welcome to another episode. Today we're finally going to be talking about my ride experience of the Nepest MAUI 50mm carbon wheels. Let's go. So let's start at the beginning. Nepest was so kind to actually send out those wheels free of charge to me for a review. But yeah, no money has been exchanged, so this is not a paid review. They're not telling me what to say. It is my opinion. They're not seeing this video before you, even though they tried. But yeah, they're going to be watching this video the exact same moment that yeah, you are watching it now. Let's also quickly talk about the weight of those wheels, as during my unboxing I was weighing them on my Park Tool scale, which is yeah, maybe a little bit on the coarse side. So this morning I put them on my coffee scale, and they turned out to be 1,337 grams. So I'd say pretty light, very competitive when it comes to the weight. I would put them into the same bucket right now as the recently reviewed goat wheels, or actually one of my favorite wheel sets so far, the Elite Wheels Drive 50s. So I've ridden around 400 kilometers now with those wheels, mainly on my Windspace Agile, where I was before mainly riding my Elite Wheels Drives, as well as where I was just testing the goat wheels. So this, being a carbon spoke wheel set, it shares a lot of the benefits with a lot of other carbon spoke wheel sets, which is the stiffness of the wheel, the responsiveness that you get from carbon spokes, especially when compared to steel spokes. The power transfer is pretty much instant. So the moment you're putting power down, when, for example, coming from a standstill, or especially when you're getting out of the saddle for a sprint, there's absolutely no springiness to the system. The power is instantly there. But of course, this also comes at a small price of the ride being a little bit more on the harsh side, which of course you can counterbalance with riding, for example, a steel or titanium frame to compensate a little bit of that harshness. Or you actually don't care, because speed and power is everything you care for. But I guess, let's be honest, I think most of us care mainly about speed, responsiveness, being fast, being the first one that's pulling the group, and in the end, who cares if our bum hurts a little bit at the end of the ride. So yeah, these days I'm also team carbon spokes. As I picked the MAUI 50s, I pretty much picked the deepest section wheel that they have in their portfolio, so which is also the heaviest, while still being pretty light. In the beginning, I was a little bit worried about crosswinds, given that they're 50mm and kind of their deepest wheel. But yeah, while riding, even in strong wind conditions, I never feared that the bike's out of control or I need to slow down because of wind. Of course, you feel the wind when it's hitting you from the side, I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, not to a degree where you feel you need to counteract in terms of slowing down or suddenly braking because you don't feel safe anymore. So this is absolutely not the case. I mean, I maybe wouldn't be riding this wheel set free-handed, even though I'm just, in general, a very bad free-handed rider. But I guess this is pretty common and normal when you're riding a 50mm deep wheel set. And for this particular set that I'm riding now, as you might know from the unboxing video already, I had this upgraded from the standard 36-tooth ratchet to the 54-tooth ratchet, which gives me that little bit of extra hum whenever I'm freewheeling, which I think is great when it comes to making people around you aware that you're coming, and pretty much replaces my bell. And a nice bonus is that you get this slightly decreased engagement angle. So yeah, when you're putting power down, there's very little travel before the wheel engages. So I would assume the main question why you're here is to find out if I would recommend those wheels. And before I say anything to that, I think the days where you get sketchy carbon wheels, where you need to worry about your life, that are coming from China, I think those days are over. I see so many great carbon wheels coming out of China at a good price point, which, at least in my perspective, in my opinion, seem to be safe and at a good quality. But yeah, I would say that also these ones, they feel great. I would actually compare them from a ride feel to be very close with my Elite Wheels Drive ones. I would also compare them to the first generation's Hyper that I had back in the day, which have been amazing wheel set. So in the end, it's really down to personal preferences and what's important to you. I would even say that maybe it's really down to the aesthetics of the wheels these days and in that price category, because in a blind test, I would have a very hard time to differentiate those from my drives or from the first generation Hypers even. But that being said, I really like the aesthetics of those wheels. I think they've done something very smart here. They created a matte wheel without a clear coat, and instead of putting decals on the wheel, they laser etched their logo into it, which, yeah, it has a nice look of understatement. The logo almost disappears once the wheels are up to speed, which is something that looks great when you're riding out. It fits well with the glossy frame. So from that perspective, that is for me a big plus for this wheel set that makes it really stand out to a lot of the competition out there. But then to come back to the recommendation question, maybe the question now these days is rather, would I recommend a 50mm deep carbon wheel set? And here the answer would be absolutely yes. I think a 50mm wheel set is the perfect mix, the perfect all-rounder. It is nice and light, but also deep enough so that even a casual rider like me feels or thinks to feel the aero gains that you get from that kind of wheel. And if you like this kind of appearance of the matte rim, the laser etched logo, the hub sound, the bladed spokes, I'd say this is an absolute yes. Definitely go for the Nepest MAUI 50s. Nothing you can do wrong here. So yeah, I would say kind of recommendation for me. So if you have any other particular questions towards this wheel set, feel free to drop them down in the comments. As you know, I'm trying to very quickly respond to pretty much every comment. And yeah, I'll try to answer whatever question you might have. Also, another question for me, I kind of now started enjoying doing those reviews actually on the bike, speaking freely here rather than at home in the studio setup. So let me know what you think about that. Do you prefer the rather quiet me sitting down with nice lighting at home? Or do you actually appreciate me just casually talking on the bike? Yeah, also let me know in the comments. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. And yeah, as always, I'd say thanks a lot for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.